And now from there, now we started moving. Because we said, if we were able to do it for audio, let's do it for video. So we looked for a software, same. We did it for video. By that time...
What do you mean you looked for a software, same?
We looked for a software to learn how to produce video.
Self-taught again?
Self-taught, yeah.
So now, now you're talking about Sakata.
Sakata, now we were
now it's you and Mike Sakata.
Exactly. So we said, hey, we need to move this thing to video. By that time, while we were looking for the software, Kev always used to say that he wants to do an award called Groove Award. So he launched his award and we were nominated and we won. Yeah.
So you won the Groove now, you.
Yeah, so the strangest thing was we saw Kev make these things. So we went to his event and we came back with these things. Yeah. We're telling Kev they're back.
So Kev is making them downstairs. Is Kev still living with you?
Yeah, he's still living there.
He's still your tenant?
Yeah, he's still my tenant. He's not even paying rent because he doesn't have anything.
Hey, what do you mean? He made Groove with zero bob?
Yeah, there was nothing.
Oh yes, he didn't have financing.
He didn't have financing. He was still there.
But it was the first time we're having an award show.
So that time he was saying, I won't make rent because I'm doing Groove, man. And I won't make it for this month. I don't know when I'll make it. But if something happens, I'll pay. So sawa. So we kept on. So I remember there's a time when Kev was just about to do a gig. And we kept telling them, close the gate, close the gate. This is Eastlands, man. So Kev, man, and Josh. So the yellow guy kept going out and talking with the phone from the streets and coming back. We're telling, hey, Josh, man. So one day, man, thugs came in with them. We were all robbed. Everything. What? Yeah. Everything. Kev's machines, the scoop went. Everything. The industry was over. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah. Where did you used to do this gig?
So this gig was in Tintin.
Oh yes, it was in Tintin.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
The thugs came into Tintin.
No, they came into Buru.
Oh, into Buru now.
Because there was no storage.
Yes.
So
they followed you.
The equipment, yeah, they followed Josh.
Buru to the digs, robbed everything from your house. Oh, even your equipment.
Yeah, upstairs and downstairs, wiped out everything. Us guys were tied up huko with bed sheets. So the industry was over from our standpoint. So we had to decide. And that's when we learned the new principle. It says, they can take your fruit, but they can't take your fruitfulness. We started all over again. Back. And we started producing all over again. So this time we now came back with video. So the guy who gave us the software for video is called Paul Mukoma.
Prince Cam.
Yeah. And we were introduced to him by Esther Wahome since we had done something for her.
What did you do for Esther Wahome? Can you remember?
Mambo yanabadilika, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, we went into video. So the problem was no one wanted to play our videos because now the guys on TV wanted to play their guys. Because you see there are clicks everywhere.
Yes.
So the guys on TV wanted to play their guys. So that's when we learned the next principle. Instead of competing, create. So he said, okay, a TV show is just a long music video. Let's do this. So we created a TV show and we took it to K24. And K24, they took it.
And the name of the TV show was?
Gospel Garage.
Yeah.
Gospel Garage Extra. Extra people, extra content, extra lifestyle.
Sometimes you wanna give up the loser.
Where you get renewed, refreshed, and reconciled back to the first love. Join SK Blue and Sakata Media every Sunday at 2 p.m.
Yes, Red Hot is the show
only on K24 for the biggest live gospel show ever. This is one live show that you don't want to miss.
Yeah. Yani, because at this time, the only gospel show, the time of Gospel Garage was
Stomp. Yeah.
So you guys put your musicians,
Yes,
the
exactly.
videos that you had been shooting for them,
Yeah.
create this show called Gospel Garage.
Yeah.
You take a pilot to K24.
K24.
Uko ndani.
Tuko ndani. K24 didn't pay us for 3 years. We didn't care.
You were making your artists huge.
Exactly. From after the 3rd year, they asked us how much. How much what? We didn't even know people get paid. How much for the TV show? Allah, these things are paid for. So we were paid, and it opened our eyes. From there, we said, it's time. Let's try and make gospel a daily thing. Went to NTV. We spoke to NTV, man. They were telling us, gospel can't. Gospel is for Sunday. It can't. How? We're telling them, I'm telling you, there is a crowd. Us guys have been going round in schools. There is a following. Allow this thing. So we told them, they said we don't have slot. We told them, you have Cartoon Network, bana.
Exactly.
You're looping these cartoons. Why don't you allow us to try 1 week? So they allowed us. It was an experiment. It killed. We had a show called Password.
I remember Password.
Yeah.
In fact, you've jumped many stories. Wow,
I'll fast forward.
Usiruke hivyo. First and foremost, let's talk about some of the music videos you produced.
Exactly.
Because I mean that alone was huge.
It was huge, by the way.
Like, walk me through your.
Yeah, let me rewind the tape.
Yeah, rewind
music
selector, but it's
videos.
good. At least we know where we're headed.
Exactly.
Okay.
Back to music videos. So music videos, we had never done music videos at all. We didn't even know how music videos are done. So he said it doesn't really matter. There are no rules. We make the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably what we make, as long as it's authentic, people may actually relate to it. So shots were shaking, but people didn't care that the shots were shaking, and it became a thing.
Yeah.
So we were shaking our shots intentionally.
Because it became a thing.
It became a thing. Guys were like, wow, this thing.
Hii ni agent kwa masagent, dhambi ni chafu itoki na detergent. Imagine alimtumia button kukupata till that is certain. Kubadura nane baba nitowe dhambi baba ero yesu ananidale baba eleyo.
Yeah. So we got it.
Shots are huku
shaking. We actually said, you know what? Why don't we make it confident? Make it intentional. So yeah, we were zooming, jacking the camera like this, and people, it started working. So we started doing videos, a lot of them. So we did
Alemba and Kaberere.
Yeah, we did Alemba and Kaberere. We did Esther Wahome. We did Kambua.
Can you remember the jam you did DNA? You did Kambua 1, and then there's another one you did Kambua
DNA. Exactly.
And that other guy.
Niko tena sana. Hey. DNA. Na mali Mungu amenitoa saa zingine hata mimi siamini, man.
Every day and every way I give thanks to the Father, oh Lord.
Hear the children join together, do it far.
Every day and every way I give thanks to the Father, oh Lord.
Hear the children join together, do it far.
Yeah. Then we did size 8.
Secular now.
Yeah.
Before she's become saved.
Yeah. We did fire. So we kept talking to size 8, yeah? Back and forth. And she says, you know, my dad is a Parsi. We're telling her, Sawa, then we need to work together as we talk about this thing, Bana.
Because size 8 now is huge.
It's huge on this other side.
In the secular side.
Exactly. So we did fire. Moto.
We did Basha Ocampo.
We did Basha Ocampo. We did DNG.
DNG?
Yeah. We did La Familia.
Oh, yeah.
We did Giuliani.
Basha Ocampo.
Basha Ocampo. Then we did we did a lot, man.
You know who you did? You did
we did
Chit Chat.
I like your shoes. I like your hair. The clothes you wear. You're fresh, you're fly. I really like your style.
We did Esther.
Let me tell you what happened. We saw your videos, and us guys were now becoming this group called Chit Chat.
Exactly. You guys were the crew.
Yes,
from uptown.
Us guys were the Barbies. And we're becoming now, from hip hop, we're becoming a pop group.
Exactly.
Team. Camp Mula before Camp Mula.
Exactly.
But we needed people with a different thinking. And that time, without a doubt, Sakata was the hottest thing. We also wanted Sakata because of the speed with which you'd edit videos. Other guys were telling us 4 weeks, a month. Sakata were telling us, hey, we'll do for you. You'll have it in 48 hours, you'll have a copy.
Exactly.
Well, like 48 hours.
Because we didn't see why not. Because we come from a shoot, we cut it, man. You know, we cut it till morning.
Can you remember the video that we shot at night and needed to be ready the next day?
Oh,
the Christmas one.
Exactly.
The Mavuno
and
Christmas one.
We did it, Bana.
Yeah.
What you need to do is that the Son of God was born in a manger, save me from danger. He's the only one who will understand. Give me liberty.
Oh yeah, by the way, hey, we did a lot of videos.
You even
man.
did for me and Riga.
We did you and Riga.
Bado Sijafika.
Bado Sijafika. We did for Kanji. We did for...
You did for Kanji? Oh yes, you
did. Yeah, we did for Kanji. We did now Kanji pulled us into now Uptown. RK wanted us to produce his team as well.
Yeah.
So
but the video that I want you to talk about, which now malizaed everybody.
Yeah.
Saluti.
Saluti took everything. Saluti we threw yourself all in, and Owen as well. Owen used literally everything he had, wiped out, to do Saluti.
You know, when we're seeing this video, we're thinking you guys are ballers. You know, at that time, because you're seeing every video, it's a cut on TV, you're thinking...
Exactly, because, video after video, song after song, it was just Sakata. And, Saluti, man, Saluti, yani, everything. So, that's the time now, we went, sat down with Film Studio. Told Film Studio, if you support us in this, we'll pay, but give us a discounted price. If you support us, all our work will bring it here. Little did we know that Kev would end up to buy Film Studio. It's
the guy who you were in the same bed
imagine,
would buy Film Studio.
Would buy my tenant.
Would buy
Film Studio. So, Saluti. We shot it for long, man. We traveled. We had to travel, go to everyone's hometown, like that. Then we put it together. It killed. It killed, man. From that day now, everything opened up. Now we needed to get someone to play these videos. If no one would play the videos, we needed to be on TV to play the videos.
And that's now when your show
started. That's how we started.
But Saluti was so big, and the video was so quality, and the concept was so revolutionary, it even transcended into secular. And at this time, because of Groove Awards and all of these other things.
Exactly.
Because of Kambi Cristo.
Yeah.
And the different things happening within the different gospel camps.
Yeah. And the reason we were...
Gospel took over.
Oh yeah, gospel took over. By the way, because all these guys were doing their thing. Kev was doing their thing, his thing. And the guy who was the backbone of allowing us to get that quality was Nonini.
What do you mean?
Nonini is the guy who was giving us lenses.
What?
Yeah, we were listening, all our videos were listing lenses for Nonini. Yeah. So Nonini had a thing called an adapter.
Uh-huh.
That was the thing the whole industry was lining up for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your quality of videos, the way your videos looked, was a factor of a lens that Nonini had.
Exactly. Because Nonini had an adapter that would take different lenses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Nonini is a big hero to us, man. Yeah.
Do you guys have equipment at this time?
So this time we have nothing. So with time then, we started now buying equipment. Then we realized, the equipment direction is not the direction because disruption was so fast.
Uh-huh.
One day you're at an adapter, next day you're at 7D.
Yeah.
Before you know 5D, before you know red, before you know
Exactly.
too fast. We said, outsource. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about SK Blue's career. Now, how was that? Because there's a time you were the biggest gospel musician.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was entering the industry,
Yeah.
in fact, when I was doing my auditions for Talent Mania, the tapes being sold there that I bought was a cassette which had a cha-cha.
Oh yeah.
And nights when it's hitting me, it's Mike Sakata who delivered.
Exactly. Yeah. So now, when at that particular point, now we focused so Rafton was on his feet, Haijalishi was out. Then we did Hinivita. Now it was time to do SK Blue.
Mm-hmm.
So now, and we were open for guys to as well sample other producers. So it was time to build.
Okay, I get.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can sample at K. You can do a rotation. Yeah. So now, as long as we'll all push everyone's music. So Moz would do radio, we would do TV. But at this time now, we now started working on my album. So
Prophecy.
I did a song called Prophecy.
Uh-huh.
This is the echo of the voice of a prophet, shouting in the desert like they want John the Baptist, predicting all the fruits of repentance in the city. Prophesy, prophesy. This is the echo of the voice of a prophet, shouting in the desert like they want John the Baptist, predicting all the fruits of repentance in the city. Prophesy, prophesy.
Shot the video. And it was the first Kenyan song that went into MTV.
What?
Yeah.
Prophecy went to MTV?
It was the first that went into MTV. It opened up the region. It was crazy. Yeah. So from there now I had to follow it up with an album. So I did now the Prophecy album. Launched the Prophecy album, and I was doing a song after song after song. Of course I had the advantage of speed
Yes.
because
You live in the studio.
I live in the studio. Exactly. So we were doing every month a song. I'm telling you, the consistency was so tight. There was no other option.
Yeah. You guys, yani, so much is making sense.
Yeah.
And now Kev has the platform.
Now Kev has the platform.
The industry is small, everybody's boys.
Yeah, everyone is here.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there was no reason to fight anyway, because everyone is trying to make it out. It's experimental. No one knows what works. So we just try this, like that. And it was working. And we did the first group party. So I remember us going to, Kev suggested that we go talk to Red Cross for the ambulance. And it was, what was the name of the party? The theme of the party was a medical theme, surgical.
Yeah.
Yeah. that thing made group party.
That was the first group party.
I'm telling
This is
you,
even
man.
before Kev went to States.
Yeah, that's before.
So at this time, group party, there's no Kubamba. There's no Kubasho. I mean, K-Crew are not doing the evening things. Because
No.
K-Crew's first one I know was 2005. I know it because I was there.
Exactly. Nothing. Kev, man. Kev was the only thing. So Groove Party, I'm telling you, we got ambulances. At that point, it was very disruptive. Got ambulances, we got all the gear for surgeons and everything, and the whole event, all performers were on that gear. And no one would change the gear. So the point was, you don't know who's performing. Everyone is in the gear.
Oh, in the masks.
And
yeah,
masks,
exactly.
And the blue gear, the blue, everything. Gloves, 100%, plus the DJs.
That's crazy.
And the point was, it's no one's event. So you just hear the next song, and this guy comes in, and you have no clue.
Until you hear the song, that's not when you know.
Then you know. And he wouldn't remove the mask. That was, that was crazy, man.
That was ahead of its time.
Yeah. So you come with ambulances, and performers were coming from ambulances.
Where was this gig? KCC?
KCC, man. Oh, no. Pakibapo.
Parklands Baptist.
Yeah, Parklands Baptist. So everyone was coming from an ambulance. Everyone, 100%. No one knew who the DJ was, who the artist was, who the band, nothing. It was no one's gig.
And everyone's gig.
And everyone's gig. And it killed, man. Groove Party stuck from that day. And Kev did his thing. So us guys, when we realized that we can be paid for TV, man, so it was time now to expand it. So I was on my first album. Now I went to second. So I was doing songs back to back. I was doing gigs everywhere. So something happened that we didn't anticipate.
Which was?
Rafton and I were nominated for American Gospel Music Awards.
What?
Yeah. From nowhere. We're like, Allah, we don't have fare. Yeah. So we went to the embassy with nothing. So we tried sitting down, trying to think about it. Now this is 2004. Yeah. Trying to think about it, we came up with an idea. Let's get all the newspaper cuttings that have our faces.
It was so crazy that it was almost a TV production. Again, kumbuka sisi tunafanya production. So hizo vitu tumeiva. I wish ningekuwa hapo. Nilipatiwa role, ilikuwa kazi yangu ni wale wasewao simama kama ni kama it's like an aid, so to speak. Wale wa ancient. So nimedunga nguo zinakaa wale my Egyptians, kale kitu kalikuwa kanakuja hivi. Nilikuwa naitwa Habakkuk, and for the longest time even watu wakolewa wananiitaga Habakkuk. That's one role that shaped my life.
What?
Hiyo role, do you know ilikuwa na lines gapi? 3. Hizo lines 3 ilikuwa kusema yes my lord, natoka. Naongoja wachapachape, naitwa naulizwa swali nasema yes my lord. Natoka, nachapa naongoja tena ikikuja kuisha naitwa yes my lord. 3 lines. But for me, I was glad I was doing something. Bro, nilikuwa naingia scene 8, but show ikianza nilikuwa ngara. Show iko hapa napelekana nao. Manze mpaka nimejua line zao nasema nangojea kwenda na naenda tu kusema yes my lord nirudi. But tukiwa hapo tukapatana na jamaa sai malunga walikuwa na kam kuzipiga msasa. So by then I was so happy I'm so glad to have a guy called Jeff Ayoma. Jeff Ayoma ni ninja mother-in-law. Jeff Ayoma akakama kaniuliza, unajua hiki kitu unafanya anyone anaweza do. So ni nini unaweza ongeza so that you own it. Juu kama sasa nikutoe ni hata ule mother kuja akasema yes my lord na atoke. Hiyo kitu nikafikiria sikuenda lunch. Juu sasa hiyo time tunakula lunch ya shule. Unajua watu wa drama was so serious such that mpaka lunch inawekwa kando ya watu wa drama. Sasa inafurahia hapo juu leo sitanunua lunch. So akaniuliza that lunch nikafikiria. And I thought, you remember ile character ya yes my lord? Yo, that's what I brought. So tukirudi after lunch akaniuliza umefikiria? Nikamchapia. Yes my lord. Bas. Ndio hiyo. Akaniambia, "Ngoja usiambie mse. Wacha na utaniambia." So tukichapa tu hivi play vile nilifikiwa. Nikaulizwa kitu. Yes my lord. Kwisha. Guys were blown at what? Do you know what happened? That evening, the reason why Jeff Ayoma is here is to kuichapa msasa, because that evening tunakuja kufanya dress rehearsal, we call it dress rehearsal ya mwisho, so that because kesho yake
is the main show.
So leo akina Fred Ndimuli wamekuja, leo Abel Mutu wamekuja, Dennis Mugo, yani the who is who wamekuja bro, unaona pale ni kitu first of all hata sijioni kwa TV bro, acha nikudanganye, but ni wase bro, sijui kama unanielewa.
Legends.
Sasa ni kuwa show. Nikafikiwa, Jeff Ayoma uko sawa? Nikafikiwa. Yes my lord. Yani watu wanacheka. Ile swali hata anaenda kuniambia kunituma tena. Inabidi kwanza ngoja wasee waanze kumaliza. Akinini na mimi nikam kama kale kaguka. Everything
that's why it connects.
Everything connects. Life, and that's why you assume vitu, cause kitu moja kwa history yote kama haingefanyika maybe singekuwa hapa to speak to start with.
And even Abel said that day, the way he came there, alifaa kukama, I don't know, another day, but he ended up coming that day. Na ulikuwa umepata hiyo character that day.
Sorry. On Wednesday Jeff alirealize kuna hiyo
on Thursday
ndio alimpatia hiyo role. Yes, so on Thursday akapatiwa script, Jeff akamwambia I'll be coming back again on Friday, so make sure by the time I come back make me happy. So the guy goes with his 3 lines halali, anairehearse usiku mzima. 3 lines. On Friday I meet up with Russ gives me my key, I go back to Kahawaskari, I pick the car and I go home and wait for 8 p.m.
Coach.
Niende sasa Powerhouse KMC nika watch play. Na meet up na Jeff, tunaenda Powerhouse and I sit to watch the play. Now I'm seeing it for the first time. The play starts. Very intense, nime concentrate kabisa. On the 42nd minute, play imebakisha 4 minutes iishe. It was a play inafaa kwa 45 ili na 46. This guy comes in, amejipaka jivu huku, is old, and he does 3 lines, but the way he did those lines, any hata siwezi muimitate. You guy, I was under my seat. Nilikuwa nimeisha. Mother, the guy is funny as hell.
3 lines.
The guy was so good. Those 3 lines gave him Adjudicator's Award.
What?
Kwa play. Those 3 lines. He was on stage for less than 5 seconds. Yes, that's how good. I don't know how he did it. I don't know. From the facials, just walking to the stage. Because alitembea kwa stage before the lines, alitake time. Alijua, mumeninyima lines, mutanijua. So the way he was walking to that stage, ndio ende ashike position, aseme hizo lines started. Hiyo tu walk ni funny. Then aseme afungue tu mdomo. That is funny. Maze and I knew huyu
akona kitu
apate award. Alipata Adjudicator's Award wakati waliperform.
That's the judges who wamemdis.
So the judges for drama festivals are called adjudicators. So there are times when you have your people kabisa, you have your best actors, you have your best actresses, but there's one guy somewhere who did something outstanding. So now they are given a special award called the Adjudicator's Award. Hii role, it was very minor, designer tungemweka hapa kwa the main actors category,
lakini yumse ni mnoma.
He was outstanding. So chukua Adjudicator's Award. He scooped that award. This guy is Timothy Kimani Ndegwa aka Njugush.
Juu ilikuwa nitolewe. The reason why Jeff Ayoma ananikalisha chini ni juu inasemekana hiyo role si necessary. Yes my lord. Hiyo ni kitu hata anaweza uliza wale watu wako nao. Like for example we are talking here, niulize stima iko. Bala mtu mwingine akuje, stima iko? Haiko. Haya, tuendelee. Si nikuulize tu. So ika change. So hiyo jioni ndio wase wanasikiza hizo nini kabla sasa tupeleke show Bomas of Kenya. The reason why hii show ni high stakes, it's because kuna shule inaitwa IAM, East Africa Media Institute. Walikuwa na jeshi bro. Walikuwa wamechapa kazi. Unajua nani alikuwa na wa direct? Cleopas Malala. Senator Cleopas Malala. Cleo productions zake, they were not just plays bro. Alikuwa analeta nyoka stage. Kuna wakati alileta mpaka mto. Unaona kabisa ni mto. alikuwa anasema vitu Cleo alikuwa na production. There's a production alifanya mpaka ikabaniwa. Ilikuwa inaitwa what was the name? It was very political. It was very political conscious. Mpaka ilikuwa inabaniwa. Show yake ilikuwa inaja hivi. So Cleo alikuwa nao. Bro anakuchapia show. So si walikuwa wanatutingisha juu tunataka kureclaim hii glory yenye imepotea.
The former glory.
But wanataka kuchoma. So stakes were very high and that's why those alumni came. Now that evening bro tukachapa show ikaenda hivyo. Freddy Ndegwa akasimama akasema kuna hako kamseka kwa wapi? Kwa nini kana lines kidogo? Like kamse because it's never in my nini kuongelelewa. It was always nimecheki huyu jamaa amechapa. But mimi amenimulika aje. Nikasimama natetemeka. Freddy Ndegwa ni sayo nilikuwa namuona Kiss, alikuwa anasoma News Kiss TV. Akasema this guy who is the script writer wenye walinifukuza bro. Huyu jamaa ongezewe mistari and they came with a solution. Wakasema huyu king alikuwa na mtoi kwa hiyo palace. Anaenda kukufa king but hana any known boy child mwenye ana take over from him. But kwa hii mtaa kuna maid ambao walipata naye mtoi na yule tu mtu anajua
ni yo maid.
Maid of course anajua. Ule tu mtu anajua katikati ya king na huyo maid. Ndegwa akasema ikuwe ni mimi. Wacha haka kamzee kakwe ndio kana siri. Si hata ni kamzee kumaanisha kamekaa kwa hii palace for long. Wacha jamaa kwende yako na siri. Writer make a point jamaa anze show mjue vile mtamweka bro. Hiyo show ilikuwa inaanza na mimi.
No way. Hizo malines
duru inapigwa natokea. King ananishika hivi ananiambia usiambie mzee. Cause nimesikia kile amedu hapo ndio mtu yeye alipatikana. Usiambie mzee. So show inaanza hivyo bro. By the time tunakanyaga stage. Yes my lord. And the reason why they have come is they saw me already tushaenda the first zonals na nini hizo tumeshapita. So wanaipiga msasa for nationals. That's why
they are changing the script like a day before.
When I change so that tukienda pale tuchape Yami 10-0. Bro. Yami wanaongoja yes my lord. Hata kwa hiyo zone tulienda kila mtu alikuwa like kwani umempatia place kidogo hivyo na vile hiyo character yenyewe tu inaua. So tukaenda long story short tukaenda na show. Bro nikachapa hiyo show. Abela alikuwa kwa audience. Hapo ndio Abela alininote. Sasa mimi
alikuongelesha?
Hakuniongelesha. Hata hatukuwa iongea na Abel hapo.
No way.
True story.
Hold on Gush. This is a lesson and a half. Wewe unafanya tu your best with your 3 lines.
My 3 lines.
3 lines ili change your whole life.
Piga uwe. That is it. For me, hapa penye nimekaa ni hizo lines.
But also it's not those 3 lines really. Those 3 lines were the culmination.
True.
See ati same anatafuta 3 lines zake. Ukweli kuongea your whole journey just now came to this.
It's been a preparation.
Exactly.
Because sasa hata hizi 3 lines kama singekuwa na hiyo story ya setbacks na tena ya ule mzee alikuwa anakuja home haingeadapt. So it's always
even work ethic.
Exactly. Everything in life you to shape to baadaye. Sometimes we never appreciate, we never actually see it, but somehow it all makes sense at the end of the day. So
bro, hii story imenishock.
So Abel tujaongea naye bro. So tumemaliza hiyo.
Na show unashinda? You guys win.
Bro, si hata nilipatiwa adjudicators award.
What?
Hiyo na show.
Because you couldn't
Jeff Ayoma kanembea nilikushow. Nilipatiwa adjudicators for the first time.
Explain why it's an adjudicators award and not
a best actor because best actor bado kuna mabest actor wale mother father unajua. So kulikuwa na best actor na hiyo adjudicators award was a special award that caught the attention of the judges. It didn't
fit the category of
hiyo and whatever, but it stood out. I stood out in whatever I was. Hata kwa hiyo sheet walisema this guy stood out. He didn't have a lot to do but he stood out. So that alone I was like damn.
Na vile ulienda na shows ulifanya you guys waiting for that line.
Kuna nini inaitwa gala ni all the best.
Ufanye hiyo line tuone. Nataka nione.
Sijui kama naweza fanya. Wacha sasa nimenona.
Fanya tu.
Ilikuwa yes my lord. Unaingia kama unaangalia watu hivi. ukichapa mdomo ya gala guys used to wait for that mpaka wanaita Habakkuk for the guys akina Jasper Murome alikuwa Zitek and alikuwa ananijua kama Habakkuk because that was my role my character so it was so crazy ati yako wapi Habakkuk it was so crazy hata mimi sikuwa naelewa but that was it for me again this is not what I do for a living I'm just doing co-curricular activity tuletewe mchere tukule siku hiyo sitalipa lunch then we go back to school I go back to my TV production because mimi nataka kuwa Kilali Mado fulani right so tumemaliza hiyo show imeisha then nikasikia manzi Tahidi hayo wanatafuta wasi na guess nani wanapatiwa chance wale watu walipatiwa awards si nilikuwa hapo bro tulingoja mpaka nishaambia mahali sasa mimi manzo unachikitahidi usiambie msee tulingoja saa hiyo behind the scenes hatujui hata akina Abeli walitoka because hapo ndio wazo ilitoka juu walikuwa wanataka kuspice up hii kitu akina Abel ndio I think walikuwa wanaandika script then so bado hii time hatujaongea na Abel so nikachukua makaratasi zangu I remember nilikuwa na fare ya one way kutoka KMC pale Nyayo roundabout all the way to Nairobi Academy
Karen
so nikaenda nikafika huko sikuwa na fare ya kurudi nikafika huko nikapatia na makaratasi zangu sasa hiyo Filoni alikuwa na direct nikaenda kumbe hata sikupeleka hata passport yangu kaniangalia kaniambia ni wa KMC sawa for him I think alikuwa anajua he'd rather we do something different but mimi for me
this is your chance
so nikampatia makaratasi I remember hata niliomba lift kuna conduct wale ni hurumia nikamwambia naenda shule na sina fare kaniambia sawa ikijaa utasimama sawa nikafika Nyayo so it didn't happen it didn't happen so niko hapo hiyo ni first year hebu imagine ningeanza kuanza first year ikaisha so I'm back to school nini bado drama napiga is the love mpaka nikachaguliwa prop manager yani bado tunachapa show shule bado nachapa TV production
ulianza ku script write sahi
bado bado because what I'm doing is bado sijafika huko that came later what I'm doing is just my coursework tunafanya
but I was asking in drama in Powerhouse when you actor tu lakini sahi wanajua kuna ka something wanakupatia more lines
mpaka sasa Kiswahili play mimi main character bro second year ala main character mpaka kuna nyingine nilikuwa naeka mkono hivi bro bado hiyo watu wana nice so second year ikaisha so that year I'm going to finish school
and are you still najua unakimbia na hii story but then I'm trying to still find some lessons here now because now say in a sound in the routine too unaenda class but are you still going to that class here broadcast
yes as we continue the upgrade mulianza na introduction ya broadcast so kwa that unit sasa they upscaling they are now doing documentaries
wanapata easy learning ni tu you don't have actually a degree
by the time tukuja sisi tukave sijui lesson fulani nishakava huko aspect ratio ya kushoot in America they use nazijua zote bro yani nimeiva mpaka kurekodi ile tulikuwa inaita barcode ama ilikuwa zile za marangi nyingine inaitwa barcode kwanza record hiyo alafu anza sort the color bro nilikuwa nimeiva because all I used to do is to take advantage of like for example tumekaa hapa we're supposed to go out later then tumekaa hapa simu yangu ina moto the best thing to do saiji hakuna kitu na do na situmii phone kuiweka kwa charger charge because if I don't charge saa zile tutaenda out kuita cab ndio ta realize sina moto so utakuwa umekaa chini for nothing so hii time umekaa chini si ufanye tu kitu inakusaidia kwa maisha
analogy na feel hapo umetoa analogy 10 points bro
unasema simu yangu ilizima aje na umeshinda kwa nyumba so that was what I was doing. I was trying to fill in. Mpaka I went into radio. Shule ilikuwa na a radio station. Inaitwa ECN. I got a reggae show bro. Nilipiga reggae show. Yani miss that. Hata ni kidogo hapo anapika. Ningefanya pia kosi ya kupika. So that day imefika. now everyone is like niko na Anko, KTN, Citizen. So hata hiyo ikikataa manze nitaenda NTV kaa jiski KBC yani bro. Ujue ile internship nimepiga kabla, so after hiyo drama ya first year ilikuwa Bomas Nationals. Drama ya second year ilikuwa Mombasa. Na hiyo time ndio niko internship KBC.
Again, I'll say the tagline on this show is you truly never know people until you take the time out to get to know people. For those of you who've been following us the journey this far, I want you to know the behind the scenes is that we were not supposed to have all this time. So first and foremost, we are very grateful that Peter is still sitting here, candidly sharing his story, because it is through sharing his stories that I'm sure a lot of you are getting value, if not all of you. In fact, all of you are getting value. So this is the last run that we're doing because we've got to respect his time and we'll do a hard stop. So yes, Nigeria, you leave. Again, I'll ask you, what's the goal? Or does this opportunity now just hitting you as you flow in the river?
Yeah, so I remember that Nigeria was my second CEO. So now you are thinking, you're already in the rhythm of running businesses. So it's the type of role that you want. So I had been involved in a number of, I would say, turnaround role, like the Nigeria one there was a lot of challenges that I needed to turn around. So now I wanted a more kind of traditional CEO role, but also stable. So were
you successful in Nigeria? Did you
very
eat
successful,
the market?
extremely successful, and you can always tell in the way that the market was rated, the employees and so on and so forth. But so I was very successful, and I was rated very well. In the ratings, actually, my last year in Nigeria was the highest rating I had.
Wow!
So which is good, but now in this, so I was supposed to be in Nigeria for 4 years, but this role that I got, the continental Europe role, came in a year earlier. So therefore, I left Nigeria to go and work out of Amsterdam and look after the whole of the continent.
Wow.
For Diageo. And so I was the most senior person based out of Amsterdam. And I was looking after all the businesses from Russia and Ukraine. So when the war started, I remember my days in visiting Moscow, in visiting Kiev, to Northern Europe, so the Scandinavian, to kind of Benelux, so Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, to the south, the middle, which is the German countries, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, all the way to the Iberia, which is Spain and Portugal, so to the Mediterranean, which is all the kind of Italy and
how many markets?
And Greece. If you add all of them, it was about core continental Europe. It was probably about 15. But if you add the Eastern Europe, then it made them close to just slightly more than 45.
Wow.
But it is the whole of Eastern Europe was one market. And then I had Mediterranean as one market, Iberia as one market, Central Europe as one market, Northern Europe as one market. And then Russia was part of the Eastern Europe. So very different role, very different product. It's no longer Guinness. It is spirits and high-end spirits because, of course, the income levels are high. And it is big business for Diageo.
Like, give me an example of a product.
Mostly like whiskey, Johnny Walker.
Okay.
Yeah, all the spirits in whiskey, Johnny Walker, all the whiskey range, including Johnny Walker. Across all categories, gins, so all the gins, Tanqueray, Gordon's, Ford cars, Ciroc, Ketel One, Smirnoff, all the categories.
Wow.
The Diageo is a leader other than in cognac. Yeah, and then also Guinness. Guinness was about 10% of the business, and whiskey was about a third of the business. So it was a very different experience, because it's an internal business, so it wasn't a listed business. It is owned directly by through the Diageo channels, and therefore it was a more, although it was a large business, it was a more commercial business. And then you kind of work with the rest of the European. You kind of source the whiskey from Scotland and then Guinness from Ireland. You are used to producing. Now you are only marketing and distribution, but you have end-to-end accountability, which was good. And this is the time I'm saying, look, I was still a minority in a large European market. So by that time, it was no longer kind of conscious in my consciousness. And I remember actually Diageo was very good in doing all this diversity and inclusion and dealing with, and it started even earlier, even with PwC, we did a lot of work around unconscious bias. And a lot of the large organizations have actually done that. But nowadays it doesn't bother me in terms of being different or actually being the only African or whatever. I was the first African to be appointed to run a business out of Africa, and that large business, because it was a massive
That is
business.
massive.
Yeah, and then that allowed us to travel. So family, so my son we were living in Den Haag, in The Hague, in an international school. So it's a very nice, Netherlands is a very nice country for families, for expats. It's very welcoming. The Dutch don't worry about what you're up to. The system works, the trains work. It was a very good experience, and my son loved it. And my wife was fine. She was doing a PhD, but my son really loved Netherlands. That's why he was asking me, why am I coming back? Why can't I decline the Safaricom role? And I told him that there are some roles you don't decline. But I think it was when now the kind of headhunting, and I eventually worked through the headhunter to get the Safaricom role, an interview, and
Okay, hey,
yeah.
When you got a phone call,
Yes.
or an email or whatever communication, I know this one probably came as a vocal,
Yes,
voice
yes,
call.
yes.
And it was telling you are being considered for the Safaricom role as CEO. What did you think?
So let me be a bit more kind of what's called practical.
Okay.
These roles don't just show up.
Yes. Okay.
So first, the headhunter will come to you and say, "There's a role that I'm looking at that I think could be of interest to you." And this is a headhunter who knew me. I mean, generally, headhunters will not come for those types of roles if they don't know the candidate.
Yes.
But knew me for different reasons, and also knew me because I was running businesses that he had been involved in, that kind of thing. And so now you start the process. These processes don't take a month; they take a long time. So it isn't one of those. Oh yeah, you are now called. And
Yeah, of course.
And then there are some markers that tell you whether you're on the right track, like coming to see the board, all that stuff. So the board interview happens, but also physically coming to see the board.
But how do you feel when you first hear this? Are you...
So eventually when it lands that now you have the role, of course, you now know that it's no longer theory now. It's now, and frankly, if you ask me, given the types of roles that I have had been involved in, if I was to come back, otherwise I would have gone to probably another Diageo role. If I was to come back, probably Safaricom would have been one of the very few roles that I would have come to.
Given the level that you're risen
yeah,
to.
given the level that I was already operating in. But still, Safaricom is a special business and a special company that, regardless of whether you have gone through the interviews, once you get the role, now you realize, although probably you realize Now, in fact, I remember telling the headhunter, now I just go and I'll drive myself and all these things. Telling me, just drive yourself as much as you want in Europe, because you are likely your driving yourself will end at the airport. and actually, you know, and I remember my wife telling me, you need to sort out your social media. And I tell this to them. Sometimes she doesn't like it, but I'll tell it on this one. I never tell it externally. I tell it in private, but I'll tell it. She told me, because I'm always on LinkedIn, I was on Facebook, I was on all these things. She told me, you need to deal with this thing. When this thing is announced, you'll have a problem. And I was wondering, why is my wife disturbing me about this stuff? You know, the way sometimes men are stubborn.
Yeah.
So then one time I was traveling from Germany, and I was coming from visiting the market, and I was sitting, and I think our flight was delayed. And I said, Peter, let's stop being stubborn. Just deal with this thing that you are being told. That's why I told you, spouses can advise you. So I took myself out of that, made them either private or actually there are some I exited. So on the day that I was announced, and it was the headline, and I think I remember the headline was Starehe Boy becomes CEO of Safaricom. You know, there's this strip that happened at the top here. So the headline is there. And of course, there's a picture. The strip up here, the picture that was there was my wife's picture for her 40th birthday, which was many years ago in Ghana. And me, I was nowhere. I was not in any social media. I went to her and I laughed at her. I said, now, look. You advised me, but you didn't advise yourself. Up to now, I still make fun of her. But that was very good advice because it allowed the papers to focus on not stuff they will find, but actually that they are focusing on me as a person. You get what I mean? And actually, luckily, the picture they took was a fantastic picture. One of her best. So she said, at least they have gotten a good picture. You know, so it was.
Did you understand the magnitude of the company? Listen. You were continental in Europe.
Yeah, I was in Nigeria.
Yes, you were in Nigeria. You are, but the way you've said Safaricom is a special company, and maybe I'm biased because I'm in Kenya. Maybe I see it very differently. The magnitude and the size and the impact of the company. Did you feel that way?
So I knew this was a big appointment. But if you think about the dimensions of transition that I've always talked about, I was coming back to home country. That's a transition because you are bringing family back home. It's not easy. First of all, you need to live somewhere, all these things. Your son, our son was going to come to school. I never had school in Kenya, really. Second, I had been CEO for long. So that was not a transition from a role standpoint. But I was going to be CEO of a company that is very public and very visible and very large. And more importantly, it's a company that also has shareholding of government, of Vodacom and so on. So the shareholding structure, listed is one thing I had already been used to it. But actually the shareholding structure also brought in a very different dimension, dealing with government directly as a shareholder. Not as a regulator or all these things as a shareholder. I was very used to regulated business because alcohol is regulated everywhere. And then the third thing is that socially, Safaricom is present and M-Pesa is present, impact-wise, foundation and all that stuff. So I kind of knew, but you still never realized, just based on my LinkedIn, the numbers that went in there, I can't even, and I never had that kind of number, but they were just kind of looking, where does this, almost like it's not available socially anywhere. And then luckily because I had been away for a while, they had kept the professional side of relationship, but the media didn't actually. Some of the senior people in media knew me because of my EABL days, but a lot of the journalists actually kind of didn't. So they were just trying to find out how. But I always, even when I appoint people in Safaricom, I tell them, you do not realize just how big the appointment is until the announcement happens. And then they still underestimate. Even me, I underestimated. But because I was away, remember it was announced months before I came.
Okay.
So it was easier.
When is it announced in?
It was announced in October, and
Of
I
what
only
year?
came in 2019.
19.
And I only came in April. I only joined 1st of April.
2020.
2020. What happened
yeah.
is that they realized that if they didn't announce, it would leak. And therefore they had to announce also on the Diageo side. So you announce it early, and then I was giving notice. I needed to give notice and work through. Not give notice, but work through so that there's enough handover. I left mid-February and then had to take time off. Because I wanted to take time off. I wanted many months, of course. That's never possible. and then
this is telco.
But yes, sorry.
I'm saying, and you're coming now. You're switching.
Yes. So then there's an industry transition. So that was another dimension: technology and industry transition. So I knew that the three things I needed to pay attention is settling family, the whole stakeholder relationship, including the public and the government, and then it's a new industry. Those three. Not the functional CEO role, not the listed business element. All those elements I was familiar with, and not the commercial elements, but more the others. And then I was also coming in at a time when we had lost a CEO. Michael Joseph was acting. So there's a lot of dynamics. And then eventually when I showed up, COVID had been declared. I went to Asia during transition, I went to Asia to take a break. Then I went to climb Kilimanjaro. Then I came back. When I was coming down, my wife sent me a text and told me the country's about to be locked down. Actually, they have announced they closed the airports on Thursday. Luckily, we had come back from climbing on Monday. So the guys came to pick me up at the and we came by road because I didn't want to risk coming through the airport. And then you can imagine the headline that new CEO quarantined. to not have been a very good headline, but so we came by road, and then you get those home quarantine, isn't it? In any case, everyone was at home, so there was no implication. So you get the paperwork at the airport. At the border, and then we drove to home, and then worked. I had not seen my team. Some of my team, I had seen some of them in February, March when I came back from Europe. Actually, family came in December so that my son could go to school from January, and then I started seeing some of the people. So I'd seen a couple of my exco, but I was going to meet most of them in April, but because of COVID, I was only seeing them on Zoom. So it was a transition with the team. People are not used. They're used to speaking in the room, in the corridor. But the advantage with crisis, crisis is not great, but one big advantage, and I've always learned, it brings people together. So the one thing that crisis allowed me to do, people won't give you fluffy stories. They'll tell you, here it is. You get what I mean? Because they know there's a crisis. So therefore, they are not going to go around circles. Even when you are getting into a new business, people will go around circles and all that. But because of the crisis, we are meeting daily. We had a morning call every day at 8 a.m. and saying what's going on. We did so much during that period that people don't realize. We supported the ministry with a care center. All the people who are calling to talk to individuals about the COVID was managed by us, and then we would be routed to a ministry's group of doctors. So we are the ones who manage that whole piece with the Ministry of Health. The country didn't realize, but we did that. The second thing is we were involved with all these masks, buying and distribution. Remember, the third thing is we had zero rating of transactions for M-Pesa for almost 9 months.
Yeah.
And then one of the other things we realized is people are at home, they want connectivity. So we upgraded our network during 2020. We had about 50% coverage of 4G at the beginning of 2020. By the end of the year, we had more than 90%. So the work, the actual physical construction and actually upgrade of the network happened during COVID. So when you said, what can you do in a crisis? Actually, that crisis galvanized the things that we could do, and we did them at half the speed. I mean, half the time that we would take previously. And also the other thing is we took advantage of the fact that the organization is very strong. You realize how important it is to have strong organizations during crisis because they show up for the country. Yeah.
I'm trying to find out. So, I mean, you're being hit left, right, and center as a new CEO. How do you integrate yourself to the team? Or how is that done? Because I'm sure very many people didn't know you.
Didn't know me.
Yes, you're not. And then number two, you're coming after the legacy of Bob, who from a public figure was this super life persona. You get?
Yeah.
And of course, there's always going to be that comparison between you and him. How are you? And then there's COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how you first and foremost integrating yourself into this team as the head.